What's up, guys? My name's Stu, and today we're going a little off brand, but given what day it is, I think you'll understand why. Yeah, so about a lightsaber. This is something I have always wanted. Like, custom lightsabers, they've been around for a while, and I've always dreamt of having something like this too. Like, it's not the first time I've ever owned a lightsaber. I do have one of the Disney sabers, but like once you compare the two, you really see just like the difference between like something like this, and it's just kind of crazy almost. And oh, I'm so happy to finally have this. So this saber in particular, this comes from a company called Sabertrio. They're based in Malaysia. They do custom lightsabers. You can see they don't do like total lightsaber replicas, but they do sabers that are based off of certain canon lightsabers. Like as you can see, this one's clearly based off of Cal Kestis's lightsaber from the Jedi Fallen Order and the Jedi Survivor games. Oh, I should say this is not a sponsored video. This is just a normal product review video. I bought this lightsaber with my own money. Everything I'm saying here is my own opinion. I'm not being paid to say any of this. Though if you would like to sponsor me, my business email is in the description below. Now, in my hunt for a custom lightsaber, this is something I've been wanting to do for a little while because, my birthday was coming up. I'm turning 35 this year, which happened 2 days ago. Yay me. But yeah, just wanted to fulfill a little dream of mine. But before I did that, I really wanted to dive into a lot of research because there's a lot of different companies that do this kind of thing. I really wanted to make sure I wanted to get something that suited me. And like I said, there are a lot of different companies that do this, but in a lot of the research I came across, I kept coming back to Sabertrio for a couple of different reasons. One, like I said, they do custom lightsabers, and I really like that. Like, this one is based off of Cal Kestis's lightsaber, but you get a bunch of different options. One, on this model, the shroud guards are completely optional, and they have 3 different versions of these, so you can get different shroud guards. The color of the lightsaber, you can get them in different finishes. So I got like the standard like brushed steel look on it, but they can have like a mirrored version, they have a dark version, they have a weathered version, and they also have like a gold and a red version too, so you can get a bunch of different options. This one in particular also has a little OLED screen on it, so it's got like some menu options and some other little animation stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool, so I got that as an additional option. The button too, that comes in various colors. I thought that was neat. But the real thing that really drew me to Sabertrio was this. So the whole thing is powered by this. This is the power core for it. It's got the soundboard. I went with a crystal focus power core. I'll get into more on that later. But the thing that Sabertrio does is the whole chassis for the whole thing is completely modular. So I can take it right out of this this saber right here, and if I get another one from them, I can save myself a few bucks by not having to get a second power core because I've already got one. So I can just slide it out of this one and put it in a new one. So I thought that was just a really interesting way to do that. Apparently not a lot of companies do that kind of thing, and I just thought that was really cool. Another neat thing about these is the speaker on it. That's the speaker right here. Actually, let's get in close for this one. So the speaker right there, the speaker comes off. The speaker, you can unscrew that, and then they sell upgraded versions of it. So this is like the basic speaker, but they do sell other ones on their site that they worked on with collaboration with Smuggler's Outpost, I think the company's called. But yeah, you can get different speakers that are, like I said, this is the standard one, but you can get upgraded ones that are a little tuned for different sort of lightsaber profiles. Like they've got one that's better suited for, the good guy lightsaber, so you can get more sound out of that in terms of like, better quality out of those high notes. Or they've got another one that's better suited for the bad guy sabers, those dark, bassy, bad guy sounds like you would expect out of like Vader or Kylo Ren saber. So they've also got one for that one. So yeah. It's a really great system because like all you got to do is just unscrew the old one and screw in the new one. There's no soldering, there's nothing like that. It's just screw it in, plug it in, and go. It's as simple as that. And that's one of the things I really appreciated about Sabertrio. They make so much of this stuff. The customization, the possibility for upgrading stuff like that. They make it so simple, and that is the thing that really drew me to them. Another thing that drew me to Sabertrio was that a lot of the reviews that they had really just had glowing things to say about their customer service, which was nice to hear. When you're paying so much money for something like this, which trust me, this was not cheap. Holy crap! But yeah, when you're paying so much money for something like this, you kind of expect to have a certain level of customer service to in case something goes wrong. When you pay so much for something like this, if something goes wrong, it's really well, it sucks, and it's nice to know that when a company has your back when something does go wrong. And I actually got to experience that firsthand because when I bought this, I ordered a blade with it. See, blade. And the thing is, with that one, with the original blade, there was an issue with it. I don't really know. We never really figured out what the issue was, but or what was causing it rather. But there was one of the LEDs inside of it would keep glowing red even when the saber wasn't ignited, so it would just stay lit up, and it was really odd. When I emailed their customer service about this, I'm just like, oh, this is my first saber. What am I gonna do? I was really just like, oh god, this is horrible. My first lightsaber experience is ruined. And they were completely cool about it. They were just like, yeah, that is weird. All right, we'll send you a new one. Same address. So yeah, they send a second blade, and the new one works just fine. So very pleased about that. Which, like, the blades alone are like $70. So it was really nice to see that they were totally prepared to, like, yep, that one's screwed up. We'll just send you another one. So that was really nice to experience. Now, going back to the topic of the power core, Sabertrio offers 3 different options. They have the baselit versions, which I didn't get one of those. Baselit is basically just when there's like a light bulb in the base of the saber and it's powered by the core. Some of their base models have that one. I don't think it's available in every single model of their saber, but the main 2 you're probably going to be looking at is either the Profi boards or the Crystal Effects boards, which the latter is the one I got. Now, Profi boards, from what I understand, like I said, this is my first custom lightsaber, so I'm not totally, I'm not completely knowledgeable in this world, but with the Profi boards, you get a really good amount of customization there, and they're a bit less expensive than the Crystal Focus board, but you basically have to learn how to code the thing. I don't have patience for that kind of thing. I was really looking for more of a user-friendly experience, and that was what the Crystal Focus board kind of promised. It's got a full integration with an app on your phone, which I really liked the sound of. So I went with that one, even though it was more expensive. It was just like, I don't want to deal with any of the learning curve of the Profi boards. I just want to plug it in and go. And well, that didn't quite go as smoothly as I had hoped. When I downloaded the app onto my phone after I got the saber, it was really buggy. It crashed all the time, and I left a review on the app on the App Store, and the guy running the app got in touch with me really quickly. He said, hey, DM me on Instagram, we'll get this figured out, and he did, and within like a day we had the issue solved. So that was, again, so not only did I get great customer service from Sabertrio, the guy running the Crystal Focus app, fantastic, was really dedicated to making sure this worked. So I was really glad to see that as well on that side of things too. All right, I think that's enough yapping out of me. Let's get this thing turned on. So the way this thing works is you get a blade with it. These are like sold separately, so you will have to pay a little bit extra for both a hilt and a blade. But yeah, they sell these on their website. Goes right in there. It's got blade detection too, which apparently that is not a super common thing on the on these custom sabers. I know the Disney sabers do that, but apparently these why is there fuzz on this? Anyway, still yapping. I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, it's got these 2 retention screws on the side. You tighten those up while the blade is in. And now it's in. See, it's got these 2 screws right here. You just tighten those up while the blade is inside, and now it is in. And there you go. That's a lightsaber. It is kind of a crazy thing. Like I didn't expect to be as blown away as I am with this thing, especially because, like I said, I already own one of the Disney sabers, but the experience with this is just above and beyond than with just like the normal like Disney Galaxy Edge sabers. They give you everything you need to get this thing installed. Here you got a little Allen key. This one's here to used for the retention screws there. This one in particular, this one's got extra screws, because the emitter shrouds on this model, they're optional, and they you can take them off, which is what these 2 bigger screws are for. And they gave you a second Allen key in case you want to take those on and off. Actually, when it comes in the box, they're not attached, so you'll have to put them on yourself. But again, that's no big deal. Like I said, they literally give you the all the tools that you need. They also give you some spare retention screws just in case too. So the things that the saber can do: one, obviously, lightsaber ignition. Smooth swing right there. Slow swing. Then that's also got another sound for fast, aggressive swings. It's very intuitive. It's literally it feels so natural, which is crazy. Because I'll compare that to the Disney Saber later because the motion sounds are completely different in comparison. It's kind of crazy. Some other sounds here. We got the blaster deflection sounds, clash on clash, saber lockup. Bunch of different options. One of the things that's neat about the Sabertrio sabers is that they've got this extra little button in the back, so it makes some of these controls or like swapping through menus for this thing a little bit easier to, because I've seen a lot of the custom sabers or like the remade, what am I trying to say? Replica sabers, that's the word I'm looking for. A lot of the replica sabers I've seen, they just have like the one button to do everything. So having that second one really sounded kind of nice. So that's another reason why I went with Sabertrio. Oh, this was a feature I thought was kind of neat. Hit the aux button on the back. Boom, there's your battery level. Doesn't really show up that well on the camera, unfortunately, but trust me, it's green up here, and then it gets kind of orange, and then kind of red down here. So yeah, I wish that showed up better on the camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but you kind of get an idea of where your power level is at here. And with this model in particular, because I got the optional screen. Let's see how well this shows up. Yeah, you can kind of get an indicator down there too. You can kind of see. Come on, focus. There you go. You can kind of see that. But yeah, you get a little indicator both on the screen itself and on the blade itself. So that way, if you don't have the blade plugged in, you still can check to see, roughly where the battery's at. Another cool thing that they do with the little OLED screen is it's got a bunch of little passive animations here. We got, hold on, that's just the menu screen, but info in there. There you got a little cycling kyber crystal there. Some other little displays there. Yeah, you just kind of leave these passively up there. A neat little detail. I thought that was cool. Now, sadly, the OLED screen is not something that is available on all of their sabers. In terms of like the actual choose your own, customize your own lightsaber, it seems to only be available on this one, which is called the Senza lightsaber. But they do sometimes put this on other models of sabers in their ready to ship section. I'll go over more of this on their website because they've got a lot of different options in terms of like picking and choosing what kind of lightsaber you want and how much level of customization you want. So another thing that the saber comes with right out of the box is it is preloaded with a bunch of different
sound bank selection.
A bunch of different sound profiles. Should have planned that a little better, but like that's the default one. It was blue that you saw. This is the quote dark edition version of that one. Obviously, it's red. But yeah, they got a bunch of different ones on here. Each one with different colors for the blades and different sound effects. The totally different lightsaber sound effects too. Another interesting thing about this thing is it's really loud. Like I've got this thing at 50% volume, and I'm already kind of worried that it's going to be waking up everyone else in the house. Oh, here, I like this one. It's got a really cool ignition effect. That's just cool. It's also got, like, here, spooky sound effects in the background, too. I think we call this one Ancient Prophecies or something like that. It's spooky. I like it. But yeah, there is 25 different blade profiles pre-installed on here when you buy from Sabertrio, so you get a bunch of those. But you can also install your own. Like, there's a bunch of different places online where you can get your own custom lightsaber fonts, or you can just make your own too. I know there are ways to figure that out. That's something I am curious about, but I don't think I have the patience to figure it out myself. I might just try to go around, see what's available. I would love to get a Star Trek style font. I wonder if anyone does that. I should do some poking around. Well, wouldn't it be cool to have like a lightsaber that sounds like a phaser? Am I the only one who wants that? Because that would be cool. Okay, let's bring out the app to show off kind of what that can do. All you got to do is connect to it. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit on this thing. It's kind of loud.
In configuration saved.
There we go. There we go. Remote control. Power on. How cool is that? You can trigger a bunch of the other effects. swing effect. Just going right through the menu. It's all right there. Just go right down the thing. Really cool stuff on here. Just if you want to be able to go through this stuff on the app, you can go different colors. That's the other thing. Full RGB support there, so you can get as many, you know, whatever color you want on here. Oh, that's the end of it. Previous color. Oh, one thing I should also do. This is the box it came in. So obviously I've already opened it, but very well packed. Like the whole thing is just filled with foam. Foam. More foam. Then another layer of foam. Yeah, so it's really well packed, so you really don't have to worry about this being shipped from, you know, the other side of the world and it getting banged up, like stuff like that. Because even with all the foam in this thing was still wrapped in even more bubble wrap and foam like that. So like they really do a good job of packing these things and making sure that they're going to get to you in one piece and not be all scuffed up and other unfortunate things like that. Obviously the blade wouldn't fit in here, but they ship the blade. Actually, I still have the box. They ship the blade in one of these, which again is also filled with foam. That's a great sound. I love that. I'm just gonna do that for like 20 minutes. It also came with a charger. It just came with a USB-C cable with a wall adapter, which really nice thing on there because this thing is charged with USB-C. You can see there's a little USB-C port right there. So yeah, got a wall charger on there. Oh, and another thing, while it's sitting out, you know, when you have it outside of the Saber like this, it came with these little rubber caps too, so you can, like, you know, make sure you're protecting the sensitive parts of the core. So you just kind of slide that on there. There, you don't have to risk that getting scratched up. It came with 2 of them, so you can put it over the speaker as well. Though I think it's more for like when you have the speaker detached, so you're not screwing up the connector portion of that too. But still, nice to have. One more really neat thing about this thing is that it's got games on it. Look at this.
Invaders.
Yeah, it's got freaking Space Invaders on it. Pog.
Or TFM Tetris.
Yeah, you could seriously play freaking Tetris on this thing. How insane is that? I really want to see if this thing can learn Doom. Because why not? If it's got a screen on it, it should be able to play Doom, so I want to see if I could figure that out. But yeah, like, how crazy is this? But yeah, I just thought that was a really neat feature. Like, you know, just something to further take advantage of the OLED screen here, which, again, is something that's really only going to be usable on this model or certain of their, the custom ready-to-ship models that they have where they put these on. But yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely recommend the Senza, because, one, look at this thing. Thing's gorgeous. I love this thing. But yeah, the OLED screen is just a neat feature. And, you know, if you're ever at like a family reunion and you see your weird nephew and he walks up to you and asks, "You got games on your phone?" You could blow his freaking mind and say, "You got games on your lightsaber." And then you can crush his dreams by saying he can't touch it because he's always got weird, what you hope is chocolate on his hands. And, you know, this thing was expensive, so you don't want him gumming it up. But, yeah, maybe you can live out that scenario that I just made up. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show off on this one. I just think it's kind of cool. Gesture controls. Didn't even need to push the button. It just... There we go. A little hard to get sometimes. But yeah, you turn it off and on just by flicking it. I just thought that was neat. So now that we've gotten a good look at this, let's take a good look at this. This is one of the Disney Sabers. Specifically, this is a replica of Count Dooku's Jedi Saber from the Jedi Survivor miniseries. I really love the look of this saber, and this is one of the reasons why I ended up buying this from the Disney online store. It's cool, but I wanted to do a section on like comparing this to one of the Disney sabers, is just because every time I like I said, I did a lot of research before going with Sabertrio, and every reviewer just loves to talk crap about the Disney sabers. So let's see how much of that is justified. So one thing you can probably tell, this thing is huge. That's a common argument against a lot of the Disney sabers, is that they are kind of oversized for what they really should be. Like, I remember when I first bought this, I sent a picture to a friend of mine, and he said, "You didn't buy a lightsaber, you bought a metal club." And honestly, it's hard to argue against. It was cool to see this. I did look at a few custom shops that try to make this. They didn't really pull off the look of this particular saber as well as I think that the actual Disney version did. Like there are some things I don't really like super like about it. Like I said, it's huge. Also, I like this is the activation switch. I'm not a big fan of that. I really wish they had just somehow managed to use this as the activation switch. That cover tech wheel, never gonna get used. This thing weighs like 2.5 pounds. You put this thing on a belt, you are gonna pull your pants down. That's I would not recommend it. This thing is heavy. So yeah. Which speaking of, like I said, this is like 2.5 pounds. The Sabertrio Saber without the blade in it, that is 1 pound. Like they actually put measurements on their website. The one thing I will give the Disney Sabers, the installation of the blade way quicker and easier. Because like I said, with that one you gotta loosen or tighten the retention screws on there. But this one you just plug it in. Also, if you plug it in correctly, plug it in and go. That's actually kind of nice. But that's one thing that Disney has over those. But not nearly as loud. I'm hoping the microphone is picking this up. The other thing is, these don't have smooth swing on them. So, hit the light. Yeah, the mechanism they use to detect the swinging animation, it's not great, and you only get like the one single sound effect, so it's not really not nearly as immersive as this thing. Here, let's get a little side by side of them activating. Here is the Disney Saber. Here is the Sabertrio. You see the the Sabertrio with the crystal focus board. Quite a lot brighter. The much smoother activation animation and much smoother sound effects on these swings. It's just it's a much more immersive experience with this than it is with this. Another thing with this is you can't change the color of the blade. You can with the Savi's Workshop sabers. Like, those are the custom ones that you can build at the parks. But one, you got to go to the park in order to get one of those, or pay a guy on eBay. But yeah, you can only change the color of those, and even then you need to have the little like color crystals in order to change the color of it. Which again, sold at the park, or I think you can they sell those online now too. But again, or you can just pay some guy on eBay to send you some. But yeah, it's those extra eBay fees, it makes things kind of costly. And then the other option is just go to the park, which is great if you live near one of them. But I live in Michigan. Disney World's a bit of a drive. Now with the Crystal Focus one, you can change the color to whatever you want. Again, I kind of wish they showed up better on the camera, but it does give you a decent idea of just how much option you have in terms of color. And that's just on the board itself. If you have the app for the Crystal Focus board, you get like a full option for a color wheel that you can edit with, or you also get sliders if you prefer that instead. So like I said, you got a bunch more options with this sort of thing than you do over the Disney Sabers. Now, I'm not saying that just blanket statement that the Disney Sabers suck. I think there is a market for these. There's a lot less of a learning curve. You can just kind of plug it in and go. These, the Disney lightsabers, they're much more based around the Canon sabers, or like I said, there's the Savi's Workshop ones, which really give you a different level of customization. Of course, with those, you're paying for the quote-unquote Disney experience. You're paying for the going to the park and assembling your own, having the whole Disney magic experience. That's what you're paying for with those. But with something like this, where you're just kind of like buying it off the online store, yeah, this is a bit less money. But for the amount of what you get with this, I do feel like this is a better route. So it was it was $150 for the hilt itself. That was just the base hilt. Then it was like another $20 for the OLED screen, another $20 for the emitter shrouds. And then $70 for the blade. I bought a mid-grade blade. They also sell one that is a high-grade blade for $80, which is more suited for like high-impact dueling and stuff like that. This is just going to be for like cosplaying, general scoring around. I'm not going to be swinging this around and hitting people with it, so I just went with the mid-grade one. What was I saying? Oh right, $150 for the hilt, another $20 for the OLED screen and the emitter, $70 for the blade, and then the real expensive part was the power core. That was $250, but that's for the Crystal Focus one. The Profi cores, they go for about $170, so you can save a bit of money by going for the Profi one instead. Like I said, I just wanted like the app and the more user-friendly experience, because I don't feel like learning how to code a Profi board, because I'm boring and kind of dumb. Okay, I added it up. So say you get like just the base model of this with like the Profi Core and the blade. We're talking like $400, not including shipping. Which, given that they are shipping these things from Malaysia, shipping was like another $50 for this thing. So we're talking minimum $450 for something of like this grade. They do have some lower end ones, like they do have some baselit ones which are quite a bit cheaper. So you might want to go that route. But yeah, it's just like. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that this makes a good starter saber, but when you really want to get into the more enthusiast stuff, you're getting more bang for your buck here. So it really is worth the price hike. It's just a matter of how much do you want to spend. So let's look around Sabertrio's website also. As you can see, they've already got some pretty flashy stuff here. This is a new hilt that they just announced recently that's going to be going live probably the same day that this video goes up, but getting ahead of myself. What I did is I ordered from one of their custom sabers. You can see all the different lightsaber models they have. This is the one I got, the Senza, which is based off of Cal Kestis' saber. Of course, we got a crossguard saber. The Corvus I really like. I was very close to getting this one. This one's cool because it's got like an exposed kyber crystal in there too. I thought that was really cool. This new one does too. The Solarian, it's got an exposed crystal as well. They actually built this one in collaboration with another company called Starfall Sabers. I don't know that much about them other than I followed their Instagram page recently, and they do some really cool, really expensive looking stuff. So it's kind of cool to see them collabing like this. This is another one I would seriously consider getting too, but I went with this one because I liked it. It was at a decent price point, and I like the look of it. As you can see, you got some different options. Currently, they're sold out on a couple of them, but like I said, I went with the brushed silver one, but you could also get it in mirrored, dark, weathered. They call it satin aurodium, which is just like kind of orangish gold, and then Dolomite, which is it's red. Yeah, I went with that one, and then pick your different cores. So you can get like they called it this is like the really basic one, the effects saber, which it's baselit. Baselit means it doesn't have the LED strip blade in it. It's just got like an RGB light in the base of the hilt. Also with the effects ones, I don't think the cores are modular like on the other two versions. These are still like wired in directly to the hilt. So I don't think those will do that, but you're sacrificing that because, but you're at the same time, you're getting a much lower price. As you can see here, the effect sabers, they start at like, $240 on this model, but you go up to like $319, and then, $400 for the, CFX core, but you can also have the option to get these two without a core as well. So like say you want to get like a Profi one, you can get it with the core, or you can save yourself some cash, get it without the core, maybe save up a little later and buy the core separately, which that is an option. You can find those under the accessories tab. You can find the cores in there. You can also find a bunch of the other loose parts in there too, but here you get more options. You got the different emitter shrouds for the Senza. You also got the option for the OLED screen. You got different blade options, so you get the mid grades or the heavy grade one, depending on what you're gonna be doing with it. You also get activation switch options too. I went with the red one just because I like the look of the red one, but they also come in silver, black, and gold. And the silver, black, and gold ones also have an option where you can get a Neo version of it, where it basically has an LED in it that will change color to whatever the blade profile is, which that's really cool. I did think about getting that one, but I like the way the red one popped. Though that said, if they had a Neo red one, I definitely would have bought that. You also get the Convertech wheel. That's like the little belt clip. You can get color options on that one too. You also get various options for blade plugs, and also you got the option to include a Convertech clip. So it's the belt clip basically. I didn't get any of these, but you can't even. The blade plugs, what these do is it basically simulates the saber having a plug in it without actually having a blade in it. So you can stick one of these in, the saber will activate like it has a blade in it, and it'll do like a limited version of the effects without you having to like swing around a full size blade with it. So you can kind of have you have all the options of it'll act like it has a blade in it, just it won't actually have a blade in it. These are kind of nice if you're just like playing around with settings and you don't have to have a full blade inside of it. But yeah, I didn't bother with one of them. It's like an extra
$15-20 depending on which one you get. $25 in some way. Yeah, I didn't bother with one. It might have been nice, but like I said, I didn't feel like I needed one. But yeah, this just gives you an idea of like what their custom versions look like. But they also have this option too, the ready to ship options. These Sabertrio, they do this thing, the custom acid etching is what they do with some of these. They they take the base hilts and just do some crazy like stencils with them or something like that. They make these stencils with them and then they acid etch them basically, and they do some really cool stuff here with these. Now, unfortunately, these are more expensive, obviously, but they're really cool. They're also very limited too. They only make like a small number of these, and then release them for like certain occasions. And then once they're gone, they're gone. So, if you're wanting something like super custom like that, something that looks really flashy, Sabertrio is pretty good with that kind of stuff. But you really kind of gotta jump on it when it's there, because otherwise, like I said, when it's gone, it is gone. Like I said, these prices you're seeing here, let's click on this one. That is without the core. So like this would be $429 just empty, but you add a Profi core into it, that goes up to $599. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Oh, and that's also without the blade too. So there, blade. Oh, okay, so yeah, if you're willing to put in that kind of money, these are really cool. Another neat thing about Sabertrio though is that they do another thing called the masterpiece section. Their commission slots haven't been open for a while, so I was never able to experience this myself. And even if I could, I doubt I could afford it. Honestly, I'm sure it's something that's really expensive, but it's basically where you get to make your own custom saber with them. You get a bunch of different options, get some secondary color options that aren't normally available in the normal custom saber options. You get a bunch of different finishes, again, beyond just the normal custom saber selections, more color options for like secondary color options. Then you get to work with them to build up decals and stuff like that to figure out what sort of acid etching that you want in there. So this is when you want something that goes really above and beyond anything else that we've seen so far, something that's truly yours. But again, something that's going to be very expensive, and they've been out of stock for months now. I'm guessing they're still working on some like custom pieces still right now, so they just don't have the time to add more commissions to that. So I don't know when that would open up again. It would be really cool, but I have no idea how much that would even cost or how long it would take. So it's an interesting option, though. That's the main point I'm trying to make here. It's just like the fact that they even offer this as a service. That's really cool. I'm sure it's really expensive, but it is really cool.
But yeah, that is my custom lightsaber from Sabertrio. Like I said, I'm blown away with the experience with this one. Like I said, it was expensive, but they really took care of you. It really took care of me to make sure that I was very happy with the experience here, and I really do appreciate that. That kind of customer support. It's a rare thing, and it's nice to see. So it's really great. This has been kind of a little dream come true for me, being able to get my hands on something like this, and it's just I'm unbelievably pleased. Like if you're wanting to do something like this for yourself, I cannot recommend Sabertrio enough. They've been really good to me. I am immensely pleased with the product itself. And I could absolutely see myself buying from them again, because some of those other hilts that they have, they're really cool looking, and so I may end up doing that again sometime in the future. And again, that's one of the reasons why I like the modular core system. I can just buy the hilt itself and not have to spend another 170 to 250 on an additional core as well. So it's nice that they have that modular chassis system. So. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And while you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, hit the join button to become a member. Check out the merch store. Check out the affiliate links. If you're shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. These really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I'll see you guys next time.